Hi, and welcome to the Butler Buzz. I'm your host, Kate Stutz, and I'm sitting here with Nicole Turner from the Butler Art Center. Nicole, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
So the Butler Art Center is putting on a fundraiser, I hear.
Yes. So we're putting on a black tie fundraiser on February 27th at the Art Center. It's right on Main Street, across from the post office, from 6 until 10. And it's to benefit our Children's Scholarship Fund that we've just implemented. So we're trying to raise funds to make sure that all the kids in our community have equal access to the arts. Hopefully, if we raise enough money, we can start and actually fund this and sustain this scholarship fund long term.
Yeah, definitely. And I do feel that, the arts are overlooked a little bit. So this is like putting it more to the forefront for the kids in the community. So this is the first time you're having this fundraiser? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't had a fundraiser at the Art Center in quite a few years. So we're hoping that it will be successful so we can continue the trend for the years to come. Because the only funding that we get right now is through memberships and random donations if people want to donate in some of our shows. But this would really give us a huge boost to help sustain us long term and really get that momentum going that we really need.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. So what kind of classes were you thinking of offering?
So we have an educational director, and there's oil classes, there's photography classes, we do just regular drawing classes, and eventually we would like to get a music program in where we have an instructor who can teach, guitar, singing lessons, whatever the case may be, but this would be all-encompassing with all of that. So if children are interested and maybe can't afford the cost of supplies and paying the teachers, then, it's not going to bar them from being able to come in and take those classes. It's really going to give them that opportunity to come in. And it gives them a place to go, too, right? It's a
definitely.
Community center.
Having that studio space is a huge jump in being able to practice the arts.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to it. Our fundraiser will have catering from Mama Rosa's. Cellar Brewing in Sarver will be providing the beer, and Deer Creek Winery will be providing the wine. We have a jazz trio band that will play for entertainment, and then we're going to have casino games too. So we'll have 5 different games set up throughout the Art Center. Yeah, so raffles will be going on, basket raffles, 50/50s, and door prizes too. So
you've got some generous donors.
Yes.
And it sounds like a really fun night.
I think so. We're hoping. But we can't do it alone. We need help, right? So we appreciate you guys allowing us to kind of advertise it. But we need the community to come together and understand how important the Art Center is.
Definitely. And it's something that everyone could get involved in, too.
Exactly. There's also opportunities for sponsorships if there's different companies that want to sponsor. So we did kind of a tier sponsored level. So if anybody's interested in doing that, they can certainly reach out to myself or the Arts Center, and then we would be able to advertise their company or them as individuals throughout the programming, throughout the advertising of the event, that sort of thing. So,
Nicole, how can people find out more about the exhibits and events going on at the Art Center?
So we do have a website. It's butlerartcenter.org, and it'll list all of our events. We constantly have different exhibits on display, so that's another thing that's really great about the Arts Center is it's a place for local artists and even artists in surrounding communities who can put their art on display for sale or just to get their name out there, right? So actually during this event we're going to have the elementary school art display. So the different school districts in our area, the elementary students will do different drawings or paintings or what have you, and we put it up. So I think it's a perfect time for this fundraiser for the Children's Scholarship Fund that we're starting to implement. And we're also open during the Carved in Ice Festival in Butler, so if anybody's out there, they should stop in and kind of check us out. That's where the chili cook-off will be. But we're always trying to collaborate with the different downtown organizations just to help each other out. I think collaboration is a huge, important thing to do in our community.
I was sure all helping each other out. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's butlerartcenter.org. All of our events will be up there.
This sounds like a fantastic event. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
And thanks so much for being on the show tonight.
We really appreciate it and giving us the opportunity to get this event out there.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
Sending files, watching your favorite shows, adjusting your smart thermostat, calling mom. There's so much you can do today. It's amazing. But how do you manage all that new technology? Armstrong gives you control of your home network and all the entertainment that makes your world go round. If you need help, we're easy to reach for support too, by phone, web, or at our service locations. Armstrong is here to make everything work for you. Armstrong, life made easy.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Alicia from Butler County Humane Society. Alicia, thanks so much for being with us
Thanks
tonight.
for having me.
And I understand that the Butler County Humane Society is putting on a fundraiser called Wine and Whiskers.
That's correct.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. It's going to be my first time working it, so I'm pretty excited. Basically, it's just a fun event where you get to taste wine, go to a really nice winery, and they've actually just remodeled it, so it's going to be even nicer. So it's at Narcissi Winery in Gibsonia.
Right.
It's on Monday, February 17th from 5:30 to 9:30. We're going to have a bunch of dogs there and cats there, and the plan is to have a little photo booth so you can get your pictures with them. And we have tons of items up, too. So we'll have a raffle basket thing, and we'll also do a silent auction as well. Some of the silent auction items are Vera Bradley. We have tickets to Kennywood, the zoo, just a whole hoax of things. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So it's really, it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
And it's a gorgeous grounds over there at Narcissi. So that's
Yes.
a beautiful setting with these cute little animals.
It is beautiful. And they
you get
showed
to
us
meet some of them.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely. They'll be running around the whole time, so they'll definitely be there to see. But Narcissi is just remodeling, and they showed us all the pictures, and it's going to be beautiful. It's like a very, it's a nice calm setting. There's going to be like fireplaces. The colors are very calming and nice. So it'll be a lot of fun. And there's going to be wine tasting, dinner, and the menu looks delicious. It's chicken piccata, and then we have a pasta dish as well, along with different appetizers and desserts that are getting donated as well. So it'll be nice, to
So
say
there's
the
a lot
least.
to choose from.
Yes, definitely.
And then I see that you have different packages that you can choose from here.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about these?
Yes, so the way you can partake in Wine and Whiskers is there's different ways. So one, you can attend it. Also, you can sponsor it. So this is good for different businesses and things like that. So we have different tiers of sponsorship. And of course, with the higher the tier, the more benefits you get with that.
Okay.
So we're taking sponsors until the 12th of April. So we have some time because we will put the sponsors up on signage so we can thank them and things like that. Lots of ways that you can partake. So
Yeah, definitely. And it all helps the local animals.
yes, definitely. It all goes straight to the animals. As a nonprofit, we get no funding from the government, from local, nothing. So we run straight on donations.
Right.
So especially fundraising is very important. And Wine and Whiskers it's annually, and it's our second biggest fundraising event, I would say. So we always look forward to it, and it definitely gives back to the animals.
So aside from this wonderful event you have, can you tell us about Shelter Buddies?
Of course. So Shelter Buddies is a really fun thing that we do at the shelter. It's for 1st to 5th graders. You can call in and reserve a time. It's 2 Sundays a month, and then those kids get to read to the cats in our open cat room.
Oh, that's fun.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice because the cats love it. So they're getting socialized, which is a plus, and the kids, it's a lot less intimidating to read to a group of cats than it is to kids in your classroom.
Right.
So it helps them to practice reading, and it gives our cats some socialization. Like I said, it's 2 Sundays a month, and those dates are up on the screen as well. So if you want to do that, you'll call the shelter and schedule those. And it's in 30-minute increments, so you can pick as long of a time as you want. It's just in 30-minute increments. So
That sounds like a really fun program.
it is. They love it. They come in with their cat and dog shirts, and they bring their own books that are cat and dog
cute.
themed. It's so fun. So, and then we usually have like returners as well because they love it. So,
Alicia, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
thank you for having me. It was a good time.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
With Mitsubishi Electric's revolutionary hyperheating systems, you can keep one or every room toasty with lower energy bills and no new ductwork, even when temperatures outside dip to -13. So your home will never feel like an icebox. Right, Buster? Good boy. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Make yourself comfortable.
Call Armstrong Comfort Solutions today at 724-789-9100.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Sandy Curry with Produce to People. Sandy, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us about Produce to People?
Sure. We are actually the local host for Produce to People. We are community partnership. Community partnership is the community action agency that represents Butler County. Produce to People is a monthly produce distribution. It's free. Takes place down on the island at the Butler Farmers Market on the fourth Tuesday of the month. It's self-declaration of need, so while there is technically an income limit, that's not something that we check. So folks are able to come and sign just a very simple form, and they're able to take away between 30 and 50 pounds of produce a month.
Oh, that's great.
So
that you get fresh produce
you get
to take home with you.
Yep, fresh produce. Occasionally we get dairy. We had dairy this past January. Sometimes we get meat. Sometimes we've had pie crusts, but it's usually produce.
All right, Sandy, this is such an impressive program. Can you tell us about the other programs you have going on?
Sure. We've chosen to focus on food security as one of our initiative areas. So we're actually partnering with Penn State Extension to start, it's called Seed to Supper. It's a backyard gardening curriculum.
Oh, that's great.
We were funded by the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture's Urban Ag Infrastructure Grant to start that in the city of Butler. So that will start in March. And it'll be 6 weeks where participants can come, learn how to garden in their backyard, and then they will get a complete garden in the summer, and they will get a complete garden in the fall as well.
Oh, that is great.
So we're really excited about that program starting. And then we also, within our family of agencies, we coordinate the food bank for Butler County. So there's a lot of food assistance programs that happen through the food bank. And then we also have started what's called a food council. And a food council is really an organization that looks at systemic issues around food and agriculture. So we're looking to solve some bigger food access and agricultural issues with that food council.
So we might not know all of the needs within the community. How would we be able to reach out and help?
So donating food is always welcomed. You can donate food directly to your local food pantry. You can bring it up to the food bank in Sunnyview. You can just call our office at A&R and say, hey, we would like to make a contribution, or we would like to help. Volunteering is also a great way to help. We need volunteers at the food bank all of the time. We pack orders for food pantries once a month. We pack senior boxes once a month, and there's always a volunteer need with that. Produce to People is entirely volunteer run. So we always need volunteers on the fourth Tuesday of the month to help with that. If you want to volunteer at the food bank, you'll have to go through a clearance process. So you'll have to have your criminal record check, your child abuse background clearances. P2P is a little bit different. P2P, because it is a one-time sort of volunteer activity, and you're not exposed to or handling any confidential information, and you're not alone with clients or children at any point in time, P2P is really something that you can just come, you can volunteer, and then you can go away again at the end of the night. We do track your hours, so we ask you to sign in, and then we kind of track how many hours you've given us over the course of a year, and that's something that we have to report back to the state as part of our community action mandates. But we always need help either at the food bank
It
or...
seems like a really easy way to give back to the
super
community.
Easy way. And I will say Produce to People is actually probably one of the most rewarding things that we do. There's a lot of folks who come who that's their main source of fresh fruits and vegetables for the month.
Sandy, besides food donations, what other types of things do you need?
So we always collect paper goods. So those go out to our food pantries. We collect hygiene products.
Okay.
Sometimes we get pet food. So we've been trying to get that out to some of the pet rescues in the county. If somebody wanted to donate seeds to us, we want to do a seed distribution at Produce to People, and then for the gardening program. So seeds are always, going to be welcome too.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, you don't only have to donate non-perishable goods. You can donate paper products. You can donate pet products, and we love seeds.
Sandy, thanks so much for being on the show and letting us know about Produce to People.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll be right back with our next guest.
Launch Prime Video.
We need each other.
You and me.
You gotta see.
The future has never been brighter. I want to be successful.
So get ready. I have the best chance you have.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Julian Savage from Butler County Amateur Radio. Julian, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
So can you tell us about what your club does with the amateur radio?
I'm the president of the Butler County Amateur Radio Public Service Group. We've been in existence probably for around 30 years here in Butler. We belong to the ACS, Auxiliary Communication Service, which is hosted by FEMA. And what it is, it's a combination of RACES, which is the Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service, and ARES, which is the Amateur Radio Emergency Services.
Okay.
ARES used to be under the ARRL. The ARRL formed ARES as emergency services where amateur radio operators who were interested in public service and wanted to help out with communications in times of disaster, these amateurs could come together and provide communications where ordinary public service communication doesn't always reach, or they don't have the capability for a certain thing. The Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service is local organizations, usually like Butler had its own RACES organization, and that was for like local emergencies, local disasters, and things where the public service needed assistance. Whereas ARES has a larger scope, RACES had a smaller scope. Well,
so they're more local and specialized.
Right, more local, right. And FEMA, when we started getting active with public service, FEMA's brought us into the mix with radio communications because they knew the need that public service doesn't always have the communications to, just for instance, the Red Cross would set up a shelter somewhere in a local high school.
Okay.
And in times of disaster, the first form of communication that we've been told that goes down is usually cell phone service these days.
Right.
Cell phones are overloaded and the service goes down. Nobody can get into communication. So the 911 center needs direct communication to a certain area like a shelter. We put an amateur radio operator at a shelter. He sets up his equipment there, becomes a station there, and now we link directly to the 911 center. We have a radio room at the Butler County 911 Center. It's called the Ham Room, and it's full of ham radio gear that we use in communications with the Butler County 911 Center.
So even though you said this was a hobby, there's quite a lot of skill and education and training that goes into this. Can you tell us about some of that?
Sure. Obviously, there isn't disasters every day, thank goodness.
Right.
So most of our time is done doing section emergency training drills. We do drills with the 911 Center that are sponsored by the 911 Center. We fall under the director directly, and he calls us. He has the ability to call us to service at any time. Our section emergency training is something that we look for opportunities in order to make sure all the gear is working properly, all the repeaters, all the equipment in the county is working properly. So we do that two ways. We do the training through drills, okay, whereas we'll have a scenario, say, it's been raining for a week, and we have a scenario that a lot of the neighborhoods are flooding, communication is down in this one neighborhood, and they don't have, the residents of that neighborhood don't have an easy way to contact the 911 services for emergency services.
Right.
So we'll put an amateur radio operator with a mobile operation down in that area, and then it's broadcast through the local radio station saying we do have amateur radio operators at this location. If you have any emergencies, go to him and he'll link you directly to whatever services you need. Our particular group has we do participate on a regular basis in training, and then we have 5 repeaters in the local area. Alameda, West Sunbury, Winfield Township, and the Butler County 911 Center. We have equipment at each of those areas, and because we help out public service, they give us an opportunity to put our antennas on their towers and
that's great.
put a more stable situation there. In other words, our equipment has a permanent home there.
Yes.
And it is ham radio equipment used for hams only. And then once a week we have what's called an ACS net, where we'll have different operators practice being a net controller, calling all amateurs for like a mock emergency drill to see how many amateurs we can get to check in
so
at
like
a certain
more practice.
time. Right, more practice, and it enables the amateur radio operator to check out his equipment, make sure the repeater that we're using is operating properly, and it kind of hones their skills.
Julian, can you talk a little bit about what Field Day is?
Field Day is a national event that's held once a year, usually the fourth full weekend in June.
Okay.
Amateur radio operators will take their equipment out to some remote location and set up an operating base, so to speak. I say base, which is it's a conglomeration of amateur radio operators operating together. We pick different areas in the county. We have done Field Day at a local fire station, Unionville, at one time. We did Field Day at the North Washington Rodeo Grounds. We did Field Day at Winfield Township last year. They invited us up there. We're establishing a new repeater site up there,
okay.
And they're kind of hosting us, so they let us do Field Day there, and we had a great time out at Winfield Township. So for 24 hours, the amateur radio operators, you go out there, set up your equipment, and you try to make as many contacts as possible nationwide. Each operator is using different frequencies, and we're trying to gather contacts. And once you make a contact in California, North Carolina, Canada, all over the place, you record the contacts, you log all your contacts, and then once the 24-hour period is done and you break down all the equipment, you tabulate everything, send it into the ARRL, and they give you points for so many. What frequency you were operating on gives you so many points. Whether you were operating on solar power gives you so many points. There's all kinds of different categories, and the amateur radio operators coast to coast try to compete for the highest points. Our organization doesn't really do that.
Okay.
Our amateur radio operators, we do it for the fun of it.
Right.
Just being able
and for
to
the
get out there.
value of being able to do it together.
For the ability to get out there and work with each other and just have a lot of fun.
Right.
So, but I mean, we gather several hundred points every year. In Winfield Township last year, it was our best year.
Julian, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
It wouldn't make sense if you turned on something in one room and it turned on everywhere else. But that's exactly how traditional cooling and heating systems work. So you pay more than you should. But Mitsubishi Electric Systems give you a better way, with no waste and lower energy bills. Control temperatures precisely in one or every room with no new ductwork. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Make yourself comfortable.
Call Armstrong Comfort Solutions today at 724-789-9100.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Trisha Pritchard from the Twilight Wish. Trisha, thanks so much for being on with us tonight.
Kate, thank you so much. This is such a great event, and we're so excited to be sharing it with our community. So thanks for having us.
Definitely. So for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about Twilight Wish, please?
Yes. So Twilight Wish started in 2003 by a woman named Cass Forkin in Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And she was at a restaurant in her hometown watching, she observed some senior citizens gathering together, and they were kind of struggling, it appeared to be struggling to pay their bill at the end. And so she decided to treat them for lunch, anonymously.
That was kind.
And that, with other life events, just said, I need to do something more for this population of senior citizens. So that's what started Twilight Wish. And then 10 years ago, Jean Bowen from the Center for Community Resources brought Twilight Wish to Butler County. So we're excited. This is our 10th year having it here in our county.
That's a big date.
It
10
is.
years.
10 years.
That's fantastic.
So we are excited to celebrate, and we have been hosting this event for the past 5 years, and now something new this year is we've moved it to a new venue, the Back Alley, which is located inside Family Bowlaway in the 11th frame. And we hope everybody comes out on Thursday, February the 20th, 5:30 to 8:30. $10 donation. But you get duck pin bowling, bocce, cornhole, appetizers, cash bar, DJ Bob Pfeiffer from Pife Master Productions. It's a great time.
So you get all that for a $10 donation. That's
Yes.
a fantastic night out.
Yes, I think so.
That is really great. And then you get to try all these new, like vintage games, really. So
Yeah.
this is the new part of the bowling alley that had been in production for some time. Is that right?
That is correct. Family Bowlaway opened up the Back Alley in July of 2019. And if you have not seen the space, I highly recommend. They've won awards. It's something
It
that
is beautiful.
Yes,
It
it's
is
a
really
piece of
pretty.
art.
It is.
It's fun, and it's also a piece of art.
Trisha, can you tell us about some of the wishes that you have granted in the past?
Well, we have granted well over 50 wishes in our 10-year history.
Which is amazing.
Yes. So from hot air balloons to pirate games to penguin games, we've done a little bit of everything. This year in particular, there was, we've met an 87-year-old woman who was living in an apartment, and her wish was to have a safer bathroom so that she felt more secure taking a shower or a bath. So we helped her, made her bathroom more accessible for her. That was a
That's
wish we
wonderful.
granted. Yes.
Yeah.
This year we granted 4 individuals. They received hearing aids. We also have an upcoming wish that we're going to grant for somebody living in a senior citizen home, and they requested a laptop computer so that they can communicate with their family out of town. Over the holidays, we provided the local senior centers in Butler County with packs of presents that they could have when they're at their
Aw, how
centers.
sweet.
Yes. And over the summer, during those hot summer months, we serve them ice cream. So we just like to go out into the community, find out who has some needs, and serve them where we can.
That's wonderful, and you're also giving the gift of communication, which is in these years they want to be able to stay in touch.
They do.
That's
they
really
do.
good.
Yes, absolutely.
So Trisha, all of the funding that you need to provide these wishes for people, how do you get the funding for it?
Well, Kate, we live in a wonderful, generous community. And I mean that. Butler County, it's just amazing. When we talk and just explain to other people the kind of wishes that we're trying to grant, just educating our community, people will step forward and say, you know what, I think I could help you with funding that hearing aid, or maybe I could donate some presents for the Santa sacks. That's just kind of, it just, everything always seems to pull together. So we've only really ever needed to have one fundraiser, and we actually would like you to apply for wishes. And if you or you know anybody that's interested in learning more about the Twilight Wish organization or how to apply for a wish, please visit twilightwish.org.
Well, Trish, congratulations on 10 years.
Thank
It's
you.
monumental, and I hope this turns out fantastic for you. I know it will.
Oh, thanks, Kate. I hope you and my friends from Armstrong can come. We and all of our friends in Butler County. Thanks again. Remember, the date is Thursday, February the 20th, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Back Alley, which is located behind Butler High School and is a part of Family Bowlaway in the 11th frame. It's only $10. Thank you.
Thanks for being on tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Butler Buzz. Hey there, Butler. If you want to see more from the Butler Buzz, click on the playlist button up here. To see other Armstrong local programming shows, you can click the subscribe button down here. I suggest you do both. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.